Should Jordan Peterson kill himself? That is a very interesting question. Of course, I want to give my own humble opinion. In my opinion, Jordan Peterson should not kill himself. But then again, who am I? I would rather let the advanced, intelligent, knowledgeable masters of philosophy speak on this matter. Like Mohammed Hijab. He said to me in the past, as many of us remember, if I were an anxiety-ridden, hate-filled nihilist atheist like Apus, I would consider suicide as a serious option. That is because the world offers such humans more pain than pleasure. The pain of being a coward, the pain of having no purpose, just find a tall building and... He further said, Apus, I want to give you sincere advice. I think you should commit suicide. Not because you are a talentless coward, or because you are a waste of space. I think the world is offering you more pain than pleasure. It is not morally objectionable for you, so why not? I find this very interesting. Mohammed Hijab wants to have a conversation with Dr. Jordan Peterson. And Mohammed Hijab told me here in the past that I should commit suicide because I'm apparently a hate-filled nihilist atheist and I'm anxiety-ridden. I am not a nihilist. I was not a nihilist. Of course, he said this just because nihilist happens to be one of those accusations that are used in philosophy very much for the opposing side. So the things that we have here are anxiety-ridden and atheist. The third actual reason that I find here is that is because the world offers such humans more pain than pleasure. Finally, number 4, it is not morally objectionable for you, so why not? Based on these reasons, Mohammed Hijab says I should find a tall building and... He later also clarified that he said these things because there is nothing wrong with encouraging suicide or committing suicide in an atheistic worldview, because my morals would then be naturally subjective, and any morals that I could come up with would be merely based on my whims.
And we're having conversations with liberals who believe in these things, or moral nihilists, or relativists, or subjectivists, atheists, materialists. These things are no higher or greater or lower than, what's your favorite color? Neutral. These are all things that are all the same level of morality.
Now, let's think about Jordan Peterson, whom he approaches with respect. Jordan Peterson admitted that he dealt with depression and anxiety for a very long time. But of course that's different, he has an audience and he's very respectable and all that. Because you have to milk him and you can't milk him if you offend him over his anxiety and depression. Number 2, Jordan Peterson talked a lot about religion and about God and about Jesus. And you could say that in recent times, or maybe even over the last years, he has been quite romantic about Christianity and about Jesus. He's not sure if Jesus existed, but he says it is as if he existed. He's not sure if God exists, but he says he would like to act as if God exists. But then again, he also says he's terrified of the idea of God existing. And he also says if you simply act out of the fear of the existence of God, then where will you stop? He says morals in the world explain the meaningfulness of Jesus, but he also doubts the entire story, and he's conflicted about it, and he wants to be left alone about the whole topic, the whole question of whether he does or does not believe in God. Insofar, Jordan Peterson does not subscribe to a religion. He does not follow a certain set of moral guidelines, although you may say that he does consider Jesus in a way a moral guide. But in the end, he has no belief, and his morals are very much subjective. They come out of his feelings for the role that Christianity plays in the world and in his own life. By Mohammed Hijab's logic, that doesn't mean anything. That simply means that Jordan Peterson has subjective morals that are baseless and meaningless. If Jordan Peterson's values were meaningful and were valid, then my values would also be valid, because my values are also based on emotions, on reasoning, on this and that. But according to Mohammed Hijab, that does not count, because my morals have to be grounded on a solid foundation in order to be valid. Long story short, by Mohammed Hijab's definition, Jordan Peterson is also an atheist here, and maybe even a nihilist. Jordan Peterson also said a lot that his life was full of suffering. He lives with it. And finally, by Mohammed Hijab's logic, it is not objectionable, morally objectionable, for Jordan Peterson to commit suicide, or even to encourage suicide, as we see here in this clarification where he argues with Cosmic Skeptic and tells him there is nothing wrong with inciting suicide.
What is wrong with asking someone to kill themselves?
With all of this taken into consideration, it is very clear that when Mohammed Hijab tells me to commit suicide for these specific reasons, he could also very well tell Jordan Peterson to commit suicide, or maybe he should, by his logic. So I want to ask the question. Maybe I should not ask the question. Could be very problematic. According to Mohammed Hijab, should Jordan Peterson do what Mohammed Hijab told me to do? But the real question that I want to ask is, what is with the hypocrisy, dear Mohammed Hijab and dear Dawah people? That's all I want to say. Don't commit suicide. Don't listen to Mohammed Hijab. Don't listen to Muslim apologists. Have a fantastic day and stay away from Islam.
So go and jump off a building, go and kill yourself.
I'm not doing this. And that's that.